Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Wake Up and Ball. TD had a little accident this morning. He can't take it. The Bills beat the Ravens, and he's having some accidents, slicing his fingers open and stuff. But we're back. We're live. Sorry for the delay. Shout out to BetUS for sponsoring Wake Up and Ball today and all season long. And shout out to all the people in the chat that's been patient. And shout out to all the people that support us here at Roundtable Sports. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Tony. Down.
I'm devastated this morning, Richie.
You're devastated?
Yeah,
Come
man.
on, it's Wake Up and Ball. Come on, why you devastated? We got a ball. Come on, TD.
I'm devastated, man. The
Don't
Bills
be devastated until they go to the Super Bowl. That's all.
they going to the Super Bowl, Richie. We're going, man. Listen, thank y'all for waking up and balling. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles, Washington Commanders, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Buffalo Bills. You're headed to the championship round of the NFL playoffs. The four best teams in the NFL play in the championship round. Congratulations, man. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, indeed. Congratulations to Philadelphia, Washington, Buffalo, and Kansas City. You have made it to the Final Four. I mean, listen, TD, we've been, on here talking NFL ball on the huddle all season. We started Wake Up and Ball like towards the end of the season, and who would have thought that these four teams would be the final teams remaining? I mean, I'm excited to get your thoughts of all the games this weekend, man, because it was a thrilling weekend to watch football. And the AFC, I can say, was predictable from the standpoint of, I would assume out of these three teams, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, one of those, two of those three teams would be in the AFC title game. But the NFC, on the other hand, very unpredictable. Eagles, you can say, was up there, but the Commanders, the Jaden Daniels-led Commanders, they're a fun team to watch. I'm excited to break it all down. But first and foremost, TD, how was your weekend?
The weekend was great, though, because the one thing that I'll tell you about myself, Richie, I think everybody knows, no matter what happens, I love football. I love these games. And you know what? This weekend did not disappoint. Regardless if I was wrong on a lot of my picks, this weekend didn't disappoint, man. It was a great weekend of football. Just good all the way around, man. Four games that were really high powered, and now we're coming down to the final two before the Super Bowl. It's even going to be even more exciting next weekend, man.
It's going to be exciting. This weekend was awesome. They had a lot of, I'm looking outside and it's snow. The snow has fallen. We had a snow day yesterday in both games, and now there's snow in my life too. So we're excited to break it all down, man. So let's get straight into business and talk about it. I mean, shout out to everybody in the chat first and foremost. Everyone's here to watch you eat your crow because you were saying that the Ravens are going to blow out the Bills. I, of course, said the Ravens will win, but I did not say there was going to be a blowout, so I'm wrong as well. But we're going to save that game for last. We're going to go chronological order, all right? So shout out to everybody in the chat. And we have a Super Chat goal, TD, and the Super Chat goal is if we hit 10 Super Chats, it says TD will admit Josh Allen is elite. There's 48 minutes left on the Super Chat goal. So if we hit 10 Super Chats.
You need to put it to 50.
You need to get 10 Super Chats, and TD will admit Josh Allen is elite. If you guys click that little target on the top of the chat, you'll see 48 minutes remaining in the goal. And TD will admit Josh Allen is elite if we do it, man. We got people tuning in on X. You guys are phenomenal. A big fan here. Go Knicks. Thank you, brother. We appreciate that big time. Happy Martin Luther King Day as well. Salute, salute. The snow is beautiful outside. Man, it's a gorgeous day. It's a gorgeous day. All right, TD. Let's get into it. Let's go in chronological order of the games. All right, let's start off with the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs come out on top as expected, but there's a lot of talking heads about this specific game. Houston had no chance in a gun range. I know there's a lot of narratives, a lot of missed calls, a lot of stuff about it, but the champions reign supreme, and they get back to the AFC Championship game yet again. So why don't you give us your analysis and your overall thoughts of this game? Chiefs come out on top. As before you do that, we got our first super chat from Teleporting Goalpost, our boy Staff Boy. Buffalo Bills prove once again they can get it done at home. Turnover differential is what matters. Fun fact, the Buffalo Bills are officially undefeated in Buffalo this season. Now they won't play another game in Buffalo. They've never lost. That's a pretty interesting stat. So congrats to Bills Mafia. Actually, I ain't say no congrats to Bills Mafia until you make it to the Super Bowl. How about that?
Listen, Houston Texans versus the Chiefs. The Texans got robbed. The referees cheated. I'm gonna call it what it is. I'm sick of this mess. Okay. The Kansas City Chiefs scored 2 touchdowns, Richie. On both drives, there was a personal foul that really just didn't happen. There was a personal foul that really did not take place to keep their drives alive. One was on Patrick Mahomes roughing the passer, the helmet to helmet, which didn't really happen. Bogus. And the other one was a unnecessary roughness on Mahomes where the players hit each other. They didn't even hit Mahomes. They hit each other. What I don't like, Richie, is why are these guys allowed to call something they don't see? They're allowed to call things they don't even see. They make guesses. Well, I think he ended up there. It was one play on a fourth, and it should have been like they didn't get, I believe they got the first down, right? And the refs kind of marked them a yard short or something like that. No. The ref gave them an extra yard. They were a yard short, and the ref literally gave them an extra yard. And then they looked at the replay and, okay, let's bring it back one. Hold on. How are you allowed to mark something somewhere that you didn't even see it go to? You literally just gave him a yard. I could see if you were short and were like, oh, I missed it. He did get a little more. But why are you giving yardage that you didn't even see achieved? This stuff got to stop, man. And for the problem is it's always egregious with the Chiefs. It happens all through the NFL, but it'd be so obvious and egregious with the Chiefs. And this isn't to say that Houston would have won, but you try to take away the fighting chance from a team to do maybe what Washington did. So I really didn't like that piece of it. And again, I want to be clear, that doesn't mean that the Chiefs still wouldn't have won. But what I will say is, come on, man, you got to do a better job of not making it look like you're cheating if you really aren't. And, I'm one of those believers that they don't cheat in the NFL.
I think it's a narrative. I mean, the way I look at it, TD, not to cut you off, let's be honest. There's inconsistencies across the whole weekend.
Man, it's always happened in a weird way for the Chiefs, though.
I know, but that's
extra weird.
I get that, but you saw, for example, in that Lions-Commanders game, one call that was just abysmal, which is why, first of all, they need to implement a new rule where they review face masks.
Yeah, but
they call a face mask when the guy's holding onto his shoulder pad, and it's obvious they're not hitting the face mask. Like, there's bad calls in every single game.
Yeah, but how are you allowed to make a call that you actually didn't see?
I agree. I think there's an issue within the NFL that's been there for a long time. And when it happens to the Kansas City Chiefs, it gets, on this huge stage. But when it happens to other teams, it's just a bad call. That's my point. It happens in every single game. But when it goes against the Chiefs and it favors them, then it goes on to this thing. And then it takes away. And they just gift it to them. And it takes away or discredits basically everything the Chiefs do. That's how I look at it personally. Because you look at all the penalties, even throughout the regular season, how many bad calls have we seen? How is that roughing the passer? It goes viral like, oh, the NFL's soft. How you call this? How do you call that? Right? Like, I feel like at the end of the day, it happens with them. Listen, I agree. The calls were bad. And it's frustrating that the NFL is doing this. But my point is, people just forget that there's bad calls in literally every single game. Where to the point where I've never believed in it being rigged. Like, I don't know if I'm just not a conspiracy theorist. I just don't believe that there's an actual fixation. I just think the NFL refs are not consistent. They don't see the field, and they make bad calls. And for whatever reason, it favors that team more often than not.
I don't know. I think that they've shifted games before, had a little favored, for the brand towards better matchups and things like that. Like, I don't think that it's prevalent in the NFL, but I think that when you get in these playoffs and moments like this, you know who you want to see at least in the championship round. I don't know, man. It's starting to power, and you're right. It happens everywhere in the league. But I'm so sick of it happening egregiously for the Chiefs, though. And you know what? Then implement the challenges. Implement the booth reviews on anything in a critical moment. Implement it.
No, I agree. It's also a terrible look. The thing about that game that was the worst look about it was they call the penalty, and then you have Troy Aikman roasting the refs, like live on television. And then you have Gene... whatever his name is, he coming on and say, that's not a penalty. Like, if you're Roger Goodell, like, that is not a good look for the NFL. You can't have the broadcast just showing the world that these refs are making bad calls. Like, I don't think that's what they're trying to do. It's these refs literally are not seeing the field properly, and we've seen it all season. So I think I agree they should have, and like, for example, even that game against the Lions and Commanders wasn't a pivotal call. But I was watching the game, and when they called face mask, and the guy literally didn't even touch his face mask and was just on the shoulder pad, that just shows you that these refs don't see the field every single angle. They got to implement some type of thing. Like in baseball, for example, they are implementing something new, the first ever robot ump. And that's a big change in baseball where they're going to have, I know you don't really know baseball, but, balls and strikes. And it's usually human error to call ball and strikes, and it's very rare. Yeah, but like in baseball, it's been bad. Sometimes the umps, it's like a blatant ball, and they're like, strike. It's like, how do you call that? But there's human error in the baseball thing. But now, if they're going to artificial intelligence it, there's no room for human error. So now if you figure out, like, get more cameras on the field and have more review, it can avoid these bad calls. So I just feel like the NFL has a problem with the refs. It's had that for a long, long time. And I feel like it's sad that this is what we're talking about in that game. Besides actually what happened between the lines, what CJ Stroud did, what the defense did for the Texans, what Mahomes did, and what that team, that's just not a good look. This is what, when I asked for the analysis, this is what everyone's talking about.
Yeah, because it takes away from, did anybody actually do enough? And that's the problem that we run into, because you want to be able to say they beat them because of this or they beat them because of that. But truth be told, the game, a large part of the game came down to those calls. That's the problem. They literally scored a touchdown on those two drives. The drives where they called these personal fouls. They literally scored a touchdown on those. And remember, Richie, it would have been fourth down. In the first case, it would have been 4th and 6. They were punting the football, but instead they go score 7. That's terrible, man. That's why it's hard to really evaluate. Richie, you know what's sad? I don't even remember much of the game. I really don't. I don't remember much of the X's and O's in the game outside of Travis Kelce going off, but in large part after those penalties, making big plays. Travis Kelce going off. That's all I truly. Tank Dell got banged up. He was trying to fight through, not Tank Dell, but Nico Collins. He got banged up trying to fight through that game. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to even remember much whenever you get in that moment and you're like, wow, they just got robbed. It was 3rd and 6, and they said personal foul. And now the drive continues, and wow, they go down and score a touchdown from that. It's tough, man.
Yeah, it definitely is tough if you're the Houston Texans. Let's get some of these super chats. KM, $5. Bills got to be the favorites, and Allen deserves MVP. A rebuilding year, and they come to the AFC Championship game. Wake up, TD and Richie. Come on, bro. Listen,
They're
man.
not the favorites.
They're not going to be the favorites in that game, but do they have a chance to win the game? 110%. And I think that, if you're a Bills fan, celebrate this win for sure. Be happy that you beat the Ravens. That is a freaking phenomenal win for a narrative reason, for a lot of different reasons. But now you have the real enemy coming up. If you go all the way to Arrowhead and you somehow lose that game, then
who you prepared for all this time, who you wanted, who you say that you built to beat.
And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but like the two teams in the NFC seem beatable if you're the Bills.
I totally disagree.
Think so?
I feel like both teams in the NFC are the ones that would beat. Both of those teams would beat the Buffalo. I feel like the Eagles would
if it's
lose.
Commanders Bills, the score is going to be 71-65. It's going to be the highest score.
Yeah, but the Bills are not even scoring 65.
I know. I'm just saying. If that's the matchup, Eagles Bills would be interesting because it's the defense of the Eagles is going to make things interesting. But the Commanders defensively, I mean, you got to give the Commanders defense credit. We'll get into that because they actually stepped up big time against the Lions. But we'll see. Statboy, another super chat. TD speaking truth. Refs literally won that game for the Chiefs. A depleted Texans team gave the Chiefs a tough time. Should be easy win for the Bills. Oh, easy win for the Bills. They got confidence in that game coming up. Another $5 super chat. A better question is, what is the point of replay assist if it can't be used? Brady said that during the Lions game. How about the face mask call? Exactly. This is my point. There's bad calls in every single game, and I think that there should be a review for every call, especially in the playoffs.
This is going to be a big topic of discussion in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, they did have a season where you can review PI.
And then they took it away. Yeah. Because you know why they took it away? Well, it wasn't enough overturned for us to keep the rule in. Wow. Because even there was a game, I forgot which game, there was a PI call. I forgot which game it was, where the offensive receiver actually pushed the defender.
That was last night. It was Keon Coleman.
Yeah. And oh, man, I mean,
they called it on the Ravens when Keon Coleman, you think, was the one that I don't think it should have been on Coleman. I think that particular play was a no call because both of them were engaged.
Exactly.
I don't think it was offensive PI, but
that's
I don't
what's
think
messed up. Both of them had their hands on, right? But the defender wasn't tugging or pushing, just hands positioning, looking for the football.
But if that was Sauce, you would have said, "Oh, it's PI," just because it says Sauce Gardner on his back.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm a hater. But here's the problem with that, Richie.
At least you admit it.
Coleman extended and pushed.
No, I know. So that's a no call.
No call, but if you are going to call, it's on Coleman. And you could tell the ref hesitated. And then he pulled it. He literally hesitated, and as the crowd grew, he pulled it. It's crazy.
TD, we are halfway to the super chat goal. 5 out of 10 super chats until TD has to admit Josh Allen is elite. Will it happen? Chris is the 5th super chat. Houston players said we were going up against the refs as well. Yeah, Will Anderson in the locker room had that to say. Interesting. All right, let's get into the next game. I think we talk about this. Any last points about the Chiefs-Texans? Good season for the Texans. I think that's something I'd like to say. Houston, back-to-back seasons with the playoff win. But back-to-back seasons losing in the divisional round. Last year to Baltimore, this year to Kansas City. I think with all the injuries that they suffered, and especially how bad they looked optically in the regular season, you can chalk this up as a successful year for the Texans just from the standpoint of going into the playoffs and winning.
So did C.J. Stroud waive his sophomore slump?
I'm not going to put him up. Yeah, maybe. But like when I look at C.J. Stroud comparatively speaking to these other quarterbacks, like I already have Jaden Daniels over him. Like I think Jaden Daniels' rookie season was better than C.J. Stroud's rookie season, and I don't have C.J. Stroud at the top of my quarterback rankings.
Well, now it's better. See, Jaden Daniels better than a whole lot of cats now.
Well, that's just an example. Like just one individual I'm talking about. Like C.J. Stroud didn't really impress me so much in the playoffs, where it was the defense that kind of, I think, won that first playoff game more. C.J. Stroud looked pretty bad in the wild card round.
Well, he made some big time plays though.
Let me. I said he looked bad to start, and then he started making big time plays. I agree, but I'm gonna need to see C.J. Stroud go nuclear in year 3 with all of his weapons healthy, before I kind of, because let's not forget, CJ Stroud last year was hyped up to be this like next coming of Mahomes and Josh Allen and Lamar. Like I don't see him in that category yet, but he definitely helped. And the Houston Texans have, as a team and as an organization, I think that was a success. Winning a playoff game back-to-back years in your first 2 seasons with a head coach and a quarterback, you can't ask for more. So they're trending in the right direction. Now, let's get into this game. Washington versus Detroit, man. What a game. Upset. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. We're going to be talking about Lions Commanders next. Please hit the subscribe button as well. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. Would appreciate that as well. If you guys can do us a favor by subscribing here to the channel, man. Let's do it. Man, this was a game that a star was born. I mean, you talk about Jaden Daniels winning that wild card game against Baker. Okay, you get a wild card win. But this was the game where the Commanders and Jaden Daniels just showed that they are legit. Jaden Daniels is a star in this league. And how about the Washington Commanders defense? Because they're a defensive unit that nobody really considered to be good. They're like middle of the road. Dan Quinn, defensive mind, but we're talking about Cliff Kingsbury and the offense more. They absolutely won this football game as well for them. And that was a team victory for the Washington Commanders. And you just got to feel for Detroit, man. Home playoff game, back-to-back years, and a disappointing one, to say the least. Jared Goff turned into a pumpkin. The Detroit Lions defense wasn't able to contain the rookie quarterback of Jaden Daniels marching down the field. This was just an overall, like, I don't want to say beatdown, but boy, oh boy, it was a crazy, crazy game. So what was your thoughts of this one? As teleporting goalposts yet again, 6 super chat coming in. Lions versus Commanders, depleted defense versus mid-tier defense. Yeah, man. I mean, you talk about the depleted defense. We'll get into it. Appreciate the super chat.
This game didn't have anything, in my opinion, to do with defense. Jared Goff sold.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what these good enough not to be good enough quarterbacks do.
And you know what's funny? If we had the SmackDown Lions Commanders, Dose Dion versus Rio Robinson, and they got into a big debate about Jared Goff versus Jaden Daniels, and Rio Robinson's like, and the question was, if Jared Goff was on the Commanders, where are the Commanders? And Dion couldn't, with a straight face, admit that the Commanders would be good with Jared Goff. He had to keep moving the goalposts and change the topic.
Man, that's a good point, because nobody really looks at the overall alignment of the Commanders. They don't have a superstar offense. They got a nice running back in Robinson.
How about Cliff Kingsbury, man?
Yeah, this isn't like the best weapons in the NFL. Solid, but it ain't the best weapons in the NFL, man. And this is all about Jared Goff and Jaden Daniels. I don't even want to talk about defenses, because Jared Goff made so many terrible throws, and the defense is like, oh, thank you. Like, and again, I'm gonna get a defense credit. You know, they made the plays, right? But Jared Goff just sold, man. A lot of these quarterbacks selling. They selling. And this was terrible play. And once again, this is what you get with these quarterbacks that's good enough not to be good enough. At some point, all the weapons around them still ain't enough. It still ain't enough. Do the Lions got a good O-line, Richie?
Yeah.
Do they got a good run game?
Oh, yeah.
Do they have some of the best weapons in the league?
Mm-hmm.
What's the excuse? And this is why I try to even tell Dolphin fans, stop worrying about Tua Tagovailoa. You can put everything around him. Jared Goff better than Tua. And at the end of the day, you want to know what was missing, the missing element for the Lions?
What's that?
A quarterback with mobility. Instead of feeling like you got to make that throw all the time. See, when you got a quarterback that isn't as mobile as Jaden Daniels, and you got a Jared Goff, sometimes you're in that pocket and you feel like you gotta try to make that throw because you have no other option. But guys like Jaden Daniels can look at it and say, I don't have to try to make that throw. Let me see, is there a lane that I can get out of here on and try to make something happen? See, that's a whole nother element of the game. People don't understand the options that mobile quarterbacks have that pocket quarterbacks don't when the coverage is solid. They don't understand this piece of the game, why you need a dynamic guy in today's NFL. And if you don't have a dynamic guy, at least have a guy who can improvise and escape the pocket like Mahomes. So Jared Goff sold in this game. Washington defense played good. Yeah, they did. They took advantage of their opportunities. They still gave up 31 points. Let's not kid ourselves. But at the and it wasn't even really trash time, because in trash time they shut them down even more. They didn't score that 31 like extra points in trash time. They had scored that 31, but in trash time they kept them down. So I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like the defense, won the game or anything like that. Let's give this kid credit. Jaden Daniels won this game. Jaden Daniels made every right decision.
Perfect day.
Even when you thought it was wrong. You know how many times I looked at Jaden Daniels running the football and I'm like, all right, you got 5 yards. You can go for another 6. And he was like, nah, let me take this exit out of bounds. I don't need to take that extra contact. I got another play. I got 2 more plays. This is first down. Why do I need to do that?
And every time I cut to his face, what is he doing?
Chill, calm, cool,
smiling. Collected. He's just like, how? He's just like flow. He's like a flow state.
Concern.
He's just poised. I never seen a rookie that poised in my life in that moment, man. He's different. I'm telling you. That kid is different. I tell you, you can tell who is a star in this league just by their demeanor in that type of moment at that age and that experience. I am telling you right now, this kid is going to be a problem for a long, long time.
Richie, he better than Mahomes. He better than Mahomes, man.
Well, we'll see in the Super Bowl. We'll see Jaden Daniels versus Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
We might. No. The Bills going. The Bills going. But I'm telling you, like, you know what somebody said a few weeks ago? It might have been you. I don't remember who it was. They said there's never been a rookie to actually win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I said that.
You talking about storyline for the NFL?
And also the best part about that the organization that he's on, Washington has been bad for a long time. New
ownership, Magic Johnson and that group.
Oh my gosh.
They're not the majority, but this would be story. This would be the beginning of the NFL. Oh my gosh. Like, this is why the NFL is so good, man. Why it's so healthy, Richie. A team like this could just pop out of nowhere. See,
man, where are my Jets at? What do I got to do, TD, to see this?
This is what I be trying to tell you about the NBA, Richie. Like, I keep saying Charlotte. Like, what's the team name with LaMelo?
Charlotte, yeah.
Yeah, right. Charlotte. Charlotte could pop out and win the NBA Finals, and people be like, oh, okay. But you see,
or the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, it'll be like, oh, the Wizards won, but it ain't that big of a deal. In the NFL, man, Commanders pop out and with a young phenom, Jaden Daniels, oh boy, he the future. He the future. So, what did Mahomes do his rookie year? How far did he go?
Remember, he sat his rookie year, and then his second year was his first year starting. That's when he threw 50 touchdowns, went to the AFC Championship game,
and lost to Brady.
I don't think he played Brady that year. Was it his first year? Let me see. What was that? 2017.
I don't remember.
Mahomes stats. He's always been to the championships game. So 2018 NFL Super Bowl. Who was that? Yeah, it was Patriots, I guess. Yeah, that's when he lost to him in New England against the Patriots. So he went to the AFC Championship game as a technically not a rookie year, but his first year playing. He lost to the Patriots in the AFC title game.
Yeah, man. This is huge, Richie. This is huge. This is huge for the league. You know why? It ain't a gimmick. This is not the CJ Stroud hype. This is not the Jordan Love hype. This is the Lamar Jackson first year in the league. Like, this is different.
Yeah, Josh Allen was not who he is today when he entered the league. Lamar Jackson was not who he is when he entered the league. Joe Burrow got hurt. Like, it's very rare. CJ Stroud, even as a rookie, like, took over the league, but it wasn't like
but
this.
It's not like this. It didn't look like this.
Yeah,
until you know the feel, and you're not like, this kid was out there playing like he been playing for 12 years. Every decision was right. Like, I don't remember a mistake in the game.
No, he didn't make one mistake. And also, like, my thoughts of this game, you know what the Commanders did, which I said they have to do in my preview if they want to win? They beat the Lions at their own game.
Mm-hmm.
Going for it on fourth down. If there was a team that's better than the Lions at going for it on fourth down, is the Commanders. They beat them at their own game. Every single time it was fourth down in the red zone, they went for it and got it. And you know how they got it? Jaden Daniels with his legs.
And like, when did you see the Lions in that position? They took away the Lions game. The Lions didn't even have many fourth down situations where they could go for it.
I know.
It was just interesting, man.
And like even like the defense for the Lions, they kept, you know, you feel like they got the stop on that third down because the Lions defensively, statistically, was the best team in the NFL on third down this year. They were the best defense in the league on third down. But good luck trying again on fourth. You know, like, it's not about the third down anymore. And I think the Dan Campbell's identity is kind of like, you know, this is a copycat league. Dan Quinn's like, all right, that's what they do this year. And they absolutely beat them at their own game. And the game plan for Cliff Kingsbury, taking the shots when it's there, going underneath to Austin Eckler, Jaden Daniels taking it when you need to, Terry McLaurin, absolute stud, the screen pass down the left sideline, beating the people down the left sideline. I mean, a phenomenal run. Absolute phenomenal run. And now you look at the Detroit Lions, like, you could argue, like, where do they go from here? Because they're about to lose both of their coordinators.
They screwed.
And,
well, I don't know.
No, I think so.
Now, Aaron Glenn got exposed. Oh, well, probably a bad team will get him.
Well, my thoughts of Aaron Glenn, TD, and I said this even before this game. I know you're trolling about Aaron Glenn, of course, after that. When it comes to Aaron Glenn, the reason why I want him is not for his defensive brain power and his defensive court. Like, I'm not, if I'm the Jets, I don't want to hire Aaron Glenn because he's a defensive coordinator, he's a defensive mind. We need to fix our defense. It's a leader, and he needs to hire a defensive coordinator to be the. I don't want him calling plays. Is my point. I want Aaron Glenn. I love Aaron Glenn as a leader and a culture changer as the head of the ship. And he hires a defensive coordinator, run the defense. He hires an offensive coordinator, run the offense. I'm not hiring Aaron Glenn to be the play caller and be the savviness of the defense. That's why I want Aaron Glenn, personally. The job that he did with the defense with all the injuries, his ability to teach these guys and be personable. And, of course, you look at that game, you see the defense get absolutely run all around. That's not going to hurt. That's going to hurt his coaching value. But I'm not looking at Aaron Glenn as a guy like Saleh, for example. Oh, I need Saleh's scheme. Saleh's defensive scheme was great. When the Jets, if the Jets hire Glenn, we're not hiring him to bring in a phenomenal defensive scheme. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the CEO.
That's what I want Glenn to be, a CEO. Obviously, you look
and
at
he's going to have to hit on his coordinators. That's the key. He's going to have
like
to
Dan
hit on
Campbell is a CEO. I mean, the guy's a tight ends coach. You know, he's not out there calling plays. Like, that's why I want Aaron Glenn. I feel like he's the perfect guy that if there was a first-year head coach to be the CEO type out of this coaching search, he's the guy. I mean, do you see anybody else out there that could be a CEO type of coach that's not hired? Obviously, Mike Vrabel's gone. He was the best option. There's no other guy that I would like. I mean, Brian Flores, but he's more of a defensive brain. Like, the difference between Flores and Glenn, Flores you're hiring for that scheme. He's going to run the defense. He's going to be on that side of the ball and hopefully hire a good offensive coordinator. But we'll see.
Time will tell, man. But yeah, losing both coordinators, which they probably will. They are very high candidates. What I will say is
this will also speed up the search now that they're eliminated the Lions. Like, we can see all the coaching vacancies get hired this week. It's gonna be a busy week.
Yeah, because I don't see many other candidates, right, that are still playing, right?
Yeah, they're all. I mean, the only one like Spagnuolo and Matt Nagy for the Chiefs and Joe Brady for the Bills.
So we'll see how that works out. But we got a future star though. In the NFL, I'm gonna be honest with you. If they're smart, yeah, they gotta protect Jaden Daniels and start giving some of them unnecessary roughness calls to Jaden Daniels. Yeah. But good win, man. I know the Washington Commanders fan base. I didn't even know they existed, but I'm sure they're coming out of their holes and like they poking their chests out and they feel, man, ain't no better feeling. And I just wish I had this feeling, man. I just wish I had this feeling.
One day, man. One day. All right. Let's move on to the next game. We have the LA Rams in Philadelphia. What a game that was. What a game that was, man. Talk about a snow game. Oh, man. Saquon Barkley.
I got an admission, Richie.
Let's hear it.
So, I had to wake up like super early, pick the wife up from the airport Sunday morning. And then me and her, we ran all kind of errands and took care of a lot of stuff. And the game was going to start in like 45 minutes. And I said, man, I need a quick little 25, 30-minute nap. When I opened my eyes, it was 4th and 11. Rams got the football. Last play of the game, and they lost.
That's what you looked at?
I was knocked out, Richie. I never even saw this game. I never even saw it. Man, I was gone, Richie.
You missed the game, TD.
Yeah, you're going to have to fill me in, brother. You're going to have to fill me in. I saw like I'm okay. I'm wrong because
you're fired.
That ain't the first time I opened my eyes.
Guys, TD runs a media network. He's a host of Wake Up and Ball, and he slept through one of the games. It's his job to watch it.
Richie, I'm just kidding, man. I actually woke up, right? I will wake up and roll over and I look at the TV and Saquon's running for a touchdown. I wake up again and I see him running for another. What's that?
I watched this game with my high school buddies. I went to a sports bar locally in my hometown. All my buddies, it was great. They hit me up. They're like, yo, we're getting all the boys together to watch the playoffs. And I was like, yeah, I could watch the first game, but the second game I got to stream. So I'm not going to be able to watch the entire game. I got to leave early. So I'm at the sports bar with all my buddies. We're watching the game. And it felt like it was a safe time for me to leave because I had to make it for our stream. So again, I had to leave early. When I left, the Eagles, I think the Rams turned the ball over. The Eagles got it back with 7 minutes left. And I'm like, all right, the Eagles got this in the bag. I'm leaving. And I'm driving back to my apartment thinking the Eagles won this game 100%. And then I pull up. My dad met me at my apartment, and he has the game on his phone. And I look at it, and the Rams have the ball in the red zone down with the chance to win the game. I'm like, what? What did I miss? I thought the game was wrapped up. So I missed a key part of the game where the Rams somehow got the ball back, and they apparently found Puka Nacua. So there was a moment where the Rams had life to win this game in the clutch, but on 4th down, they did not come through, and the Eagles ended up winning the game. So I did feel like I missed a big part of that comeback potentially when I got in my car and was on the road to make it to our stream. But at the end of the day, the Philadelphia Eagles, I did pick the Rams to upset the Eagles. I felt like Matthew Stafford and the Rams are going to figure it out. But, man, Saquon Barkley's that dude. I mean, he's on a mission this year. Jalen Hurts, you got to give him credit as well because I saw something interesting. You know what I saw, TD?
What's that?
You know how we always, not clown, but we don't really credit Jalen Hurts for anything?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, we just say he does his job, nothing more, nothing less.
Right? I want to give you some stats from the divisional game. Okay?
Yeah.
One quarterback, right, had 15 of 20, 128 passing yards. Over 50-plus rushing yards and a rushing touchdown.
15 for 20?
15 for 20, yeah.
Rushing touchdown, passing touchdown.
The other quarterback, 72 completion percentage, 127 passing yards. no passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns.
Gosh, both of them rushed for a touchdown. So what was? Hold on.
No.
What's the passing yards?
What I'm trying to tell you here is the NFL media this week is going to discredit Jalen Hurts, but they're going to praise Josh Allen when their stat line was pretty much identical. Is what I'm trying to say here. Everybody hates
touchdowns.
Everybody hates on Jalen Hurts that he didn't do anything. When Josh Allen did it, it's going to be highlighted as he's MVP. And not taking this is not about taking a knock on Josh Allen. This is more about not giving Jalen Hurts the credit he deserves, is what my point is here.
And on top of that, what I did look at the highlights, didn't Jalen Hurts actually rush a touchdown that was of significant distance?
Yeah, it was a 50-yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah, he actually had a better game. When I look at the highlights, it looked like he had a better game than Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think Jalen Hurts deserves some love. Even though you look at the box score, it doesn't really look like it because you have Saquon getting 205 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. It was like a 40-plus yard rushing touchdown. So, again, this is not about anything to do with Josh Allen. It's more about Jalen Hurts deserves some credit in this game. Played turnover-free football, protected the ball, relied on the run game, had a long rushing touchdown. And, Matthew Stafford, though, which is interesting, you look at his stat line, he completely outplayed Hurts. 324 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, but they didn't win the game. So, what's your stance on Jalen Hurts as a quarterback coming out of that game?
See, again, I'm going to be consistent about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a top 12 quarterback in the NFL because I put him between that 9 and 12 range. And he showed up today, and he showed out. I mean, yesterday he showed up, showed out, made some plays, put the team on his back at moments. We know that Saquon owned the game, but at the end of the day, without Jalen Hurts' contribution, you don't win that game. The Rams take advantage. So he's one of those quarterbacks that can make plays, but here's the deal. Here's why Jalen Hurts gets the knock, which I disagree with knocking him for this. Can he take over a game?
Yeah.
And that's what he doesn't do. He doesn't take over the games. And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, well, Jalen Hurts, he's okay. He's not a problem. He's good, but that's how they look at it, Richie.
Yeah, I totally understand. We have another super chat, number 8, coming on in. Well, first, when we get to that, we have Staff Boy. Eagles versus Rams. Old Man Rivers. Stafford joints hurting in snow versus Barkley running for 200 yards. And a big difference in this game was the turnovers, similar to the Ravens and the Bills game. The Rams turned the ball over multiple times. A lot of fumbles. Kyron Williams, key fumble. Matthew Stafford, I believe, fumbled. So a lot of pivotal turnovers from the Los Angeles Rams that ended up ruining this game. You lose the turnover battle, you're going to lose the game, just like the Ravens and the Bills game. Ravens turned the ball over 3 times, whereas the Rams lost the turnover margin as well. Glenn, member for 2 months in the chat. What's good, Glenn? $5 just so that you know, TD, after the first PI against Kansas City, they kicked field goal. It was 6-0 after PI.
So 3 possessions they scored off of bad calls. Got it. No,
another super chat number.
I'm talking about the touchdowns, Glenn.
Teleporting goalposts. Hurts is a elite mid-tier quarterback. That's it. All right, TD. There's 1 super chat away with 9 minutes to go, and you're gonna have to admit Josh Allen is elite if we hit it.
You're crazy, man.
I know I didn't run this by you, but we're 1 super chat away, and you're gonna have to do it on live television.
Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Oh, the goal has been hit. Look at the confetti in the chat. It's time, TD. You can admit it. Josh Allen is elite. The goal has been achieved. TD, the floor is yours.
First of all.
And it's perfect timing because now we're going right into that game.
Yeah. You know what? Give me 30 seconds, Richie. I'll be right.
What? Where's he going? All right. We got to wait for TD. He's leaving. And he's going to do something to prove that Josh Allen is elite. So we had a goal, a super chat goal. The people have spoken. The people have spoken. So we'll see right now if TD's actually going to live up to the hype or not. He's coming back, folks. He's coming back. It's just a matter of what he's doing. He's doing something behind the scenes. I don't know what he's doing. But man, oh man, we're going to get deep into this game. I know that there's a lot of Bills fans. And first and foremost, I want to say big time win for Buffalo. Congratulations to the Bills as TD is back. And you guys are going to like this, what he just did.
We're going to the Super Bowl, Richie.
What are you wearing, TD Fins Talk?
My quarterback taking us to the Super Bowl, Richie.
What? Yeah, not only is he going to say Josh Allen's elite, but he's got a Bills shirt on?
Whoever doubted my quarterback was elite?
You.
Whoever doubted that my quarterback was elite?
You.
Hey, my quarterback the best in the NFL.
Show us your trash can.
What trash can?
You know what trash can.
Oh, my Lamar's trash can?
Man, TD's flip-flopping. Now, is this your ploy to send some sprinkle dust of negativity to the Bills? Like, what are you trying to do? Curse them or
I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand.
Folks, this is some breaking news.
I'm visiting my good friend TD Fins right now. I'm at his house, you know.
Who are you? TD Bills Talk?
Yeah, this TD Bills Talk, man. Hey, you know, the big fraud, man. I'm the big fraud. Listen, man, my quarterback is elite. Y'all already know what time it is. Listen, first of all, I lost a bet to Dan Mitchell, and he made me buy this shirt and wear it last time I lost the bet. Dan doesn't remember. Early this season, me and Dan bet that I will wear the shirt again if they went to the AFC Championship game. He doesn't remember that.
So you're honoring the bet.
He doesn't even know. I'm gonna honor it today, and I'm gonna honor it on the huddle too. So
can I post it on Twitter right now?
Nope,
this picture?
Nope.
Come on.
Because Dan doesn't know. Do it on the huddle.
Nah, this is perfect. I got a great screenshot of you wearing it.
Listen, let me say this though, Richie. Let me say this to everybody. Bills fans, y'all gotta stop this mess. Josh Allen is elite. We know that. I'm a Dolphins fan. It's my job to hate on that bum because he's too good. And do I wish we had him in Miami? Oh, absolutely. I would love to have Josh Allen. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL, top 5. He's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Why wouldn't I want him? Y'all are lucky to have him. But it's my job to hate on him. And y'all be getting in y'all feelings, oh, this clown always talking about Josh. Yes, I'm supposed to. But let's come together this week. Let's get to the Super Bowl, baby.
Man, TD, I got to post this. Come on.
TD Bills Talk. Tag me, Richie. Tag me, Richie.
I'm saying breaking news. TD Fins Talk has transitioned to a Bills fan. He claims they are going to the Super Bowl. Is that good?
TD Bills Talk. That's right. Put it in.
TD Fins Talk. TD Fins Talk has transitioned to a Bills fan. Should I say TD Bills Talk now?
Yes. Put it in.
He
Tag
is
me.
now going. He is now. He is. How do I say it? He is now.
Always
to him.
Always been a
as
Bills favorite.
TD Bills Talk from now on.
Oh man.
Should I tag Dan Mitchell?
Yeah, you can tag that bum. Sick of him. Oh, Dan already know. Dan already know what time it is. Dan is mad. Dan is sad.
Everybody go interact with this tweet, man. Breaking news. Oh, this is good. This is gonna be a good tweet. We gotta make this blow up for you, TD.
Dan hates that I'm picking the Bills.
I know what you're doing.
Hey, baby, we going to the Super Bowl, Richie. We going to the Super Bowl. Oh man, listen, I do whatever it takes, Richie.
All right, it's posted.
TD, we don't need your support. Please remove that shirt. Hey, make me. You ain't gotta need it. You gonna get it. You gonna get it.
Why are you doing this, TD?
Oh my God, huh?
Why are you doing this?
Because nothing else is working. So I gotta go to extreme measures.
Look at this, folks. TD Fins Talk out here referencing the Bills.
My God.
Why are you doing this?
Huh?
Why are you doing this to Bills Mafia, man? You're making their eyes bleed. Everybody go interact with this tweet.
Let's go, baby.
Everybody go interact with the tweet, man. Let's do it. Now, I'll be honest. I'm a little disappointed in you right now. And you know what else I'm not really disappointed in, but just like couldn't believe? You know who's the biggest Bills fan out of everybody? Maybe even more than Dan Mitchell? Colby.
Oh, my gosh.
Colby. I mean, I've never seen a division rival in my life be this excited. Guys, look at this.
Colby a fraud, man. See,
I'm
shocked,
bro.
At least I got a little agenda here that I'm trying to ride.
Look at this. He's calling Josh Allen a king. Go do America a favor next week, King.
Save that, please. Please save that. Please. Because he getting it on Wednesday night.
Bro, tonight. Bro, and then he's going to be like, I hate the Chiefs more. Also, Colby in our group chat of us four, in all capitals, is celebrating the Bills win last night. He was celebrating all caps, like, let's go, Dan, what we say? I'm like, yeah. And then Dan talked this trash to me, as he should. And I'm like, congrats, Dan. And I'm like, I guess congrats, Colby, too? Because you're so happy that the Bills beat the Ravens. What happened to division, rivals? I thought we were supposed to hate each other, TD. I understand what you're doing. It's a joke. But, Colby actually is, a diehard Bills fan all of a sudden.
This ain't no
joke.
What do we do? I'm not joking.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I know what it take now.
I don't get it. I thought we were supposed to hate on each other's teams.
I know what it take to bring these bums down. Don't worry, we going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Why did it seem like Bills were playing a lot to lose in second half of that game? Josh played passive that second half. Yeah, that second half, the momentum was all in Baltimore, but they were unable to come through with it. Mark Andrews sold in the second half.
I disagree. The whole game was the same. It was just they didn't turn the ball over. The momentum shifted when Baltimore stopped turning the ball over, and then it shifted back again when Andrews fumbled.
Think so?
Yeah, easily, man. Easily. Listen, man. You know, I believe it, Richie. Do you know that I've gotten almost every game wrong that I picked in the playoffs?
Shocking.
Wow, really, Richie? Literally, though, I got almost every game wrong that I picked in the playoffs. I think I may have gotten only one right, and that was the Eagles.
You picked the Chiefs.
Yeah, I did. I'm saying, out of all the games so far in the playoffs, I'm doing really bad.
But TD, is that shocking? Remember our Bleacher Report show?
Stop. I had more right than wrong, Richie.
But you're trash in that Bleacher Report show, man. You can't even
next year beat me.
You're talking to the king of that show, by the way. I didn't hear no congratulations.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Folks, if you did not know, TD and I were part of a Bleacher Report show this year, a Pick'em show, where we predicted every single game in the entire NFL regular season. The entire season. And they kept standings. 4 hosts. TD came in 3rd place. Your boy came in 1st place. TD doesn't know ball. But all jokes aside, break down this game for us.
Yeah, Baltimore, Buffalo, just like that Lions game, Lamar Jackson and what's the tight end name again? Andrews, they sold for the whole team. The defense did enough to win this game for Baltimore, in my opinion. And Lamar Jackson and Andrews sold. They lost the game for their team. You just got to call it what it is. And it's unfortunate, sad mistakes that took place. But in a game like this, it's all about who turns the ball over more. And and you got to be sick, though, if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan. You got to feel cursed with mild success, because if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, you had the better team. And I know people disagree with that, but if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, you feel sick because you had the better team, but your guys blew it. Self-inflicted plays, like Lamar throwing that interception, whether the receiver ran the wrong route or not, that's on Lamar Jackson. Because the defender was still there. What, you threw up a jump ball? No, that's on Lamar Jackson. There was no need to even make that read. You just flipped it up. And then the fumble is the real one that hurt the most. That fumble where nobody even touched him. People like, oh, it was a bad snap. That's on Lamar. He got the ball, bobbled it, then he secured it. No more snap. No more blaming it on the snap. Pressure coming. I understand that. But he avoided it, turned around, and the ball just came out. That's on him.
Yeah, he talked about the turnovers post-game. I watched it. He said that particular play, it was RPO. Therefore, he couldn't throw the ball because he knew there was an offensive lineman down the field. So he had to tuck it and try to run. And he said he tried to make something out of nothing, and he was so pissed off at himself. And then he also talked about the interception where he tried to test the safety. He said he should have looked off that safety more, and he knew his man coverage, and he lobbed it up, and he was just like cursing at himself, just like so upset and holding himself accountable.
And here's the saddest part about it. Take away those 2 plays, he had a phenomenal game. You take away those 2 plays, that's what you call big boy football. That's Super Bowl level football. If you take away those 2 plays. But in the game of football in the NFL, you can't take away plays. You got to eat every one of them. Good job by Baltimore digging himself out of the hole, but you don't get credit for that. Like, you don't get like extra points for that. You did what you were supposed to do that you shouldn't have had to do in the first place. All right. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills in that first half. I felt like they had a good balanced game. They made a lot of plays. The run game was going for them. Josh Allen really didn't even have to do much. This was a game where he got to coast and throw all kind of check downs. At one point, they showed he was 80% completion on a 10-throw sample size, not a single throw over 10 yards. 3, 5, 7, 4, 9, like all of them were low. He just had he was allowed to just dink and dunk and try to move down the field, and he did a good job doing that. Picking up some first downs with his legs, trying to make some plays for his team. Pedestrian game for Josh Allen, but it was one of those pedestrian games, just like when we talk about Jalen Hurts, right? You don't need to do much, but you still made plays when it mattered most. And then in that second half, I felt like as long as Baltimore doesn't turn the ball over again, and I said this on the Roundtable Sportscast, if Baltimore don't turn the ball over again, they're going to win. I said, as long as they don't turn the ball over again, they're going to win. They can catch up to Buffalo because Buffalo can't stop Baltimore's offense. I've been saying that for the whole week. Buffalo cannot stop Baltimore's offense. And Baltimore's offense will stop Buffalo's offense, not the whole game, but enough. And that's why I picked Baltimore to win, because you can't stop their offense. Your defense isn't as good as you think. It's a matchup nightmare for Buffalo. And what were the Ravens doing? They were coming back. They were proving exactly what I was saying. And Andrews on a perfect pass on 3rd and 13 or something. It was 3rd and long. And Lamar finds Andrews over the middle on a strike. And this guy just doesn't secure the football, and he fumbles, and I knew it was over from there. I knew that they needed too many things to happen. Now, what I was wrong was I said they'll get the touchdown, but they're not getting a 2-point conversion. They got the touchdown. I was right that they didn't get the 2-point conversion, but to me, they had it. He was wide open. It was right in his stomach. Perfect. And he had the ball, Richie. When you go watch the replay, he caught it. And as he's on the way down, he's like, oh, let me secure it better. Like, I want you to go watch the replay. He literally had it, and he could have just went down. But he caught it and said, let me secure it better. And then it was just, oh my gosh. And that game would have went to overtime, and it was over for the Bills.
Well, the Bills did have a chance to go down the field and get 3 points for the win.
They wouldn't have got it. They wouldn't have got it. I don't believe they would have got it in that situation. That would have been the biggest momentum killer right there, man.
And don't forget the fumble, too, that Mark Andrews had, and the Bills forced it. So, Tony B with the $5. Fear and anger lead to the dark side. Welcome to Bills Mafia. Now you need to make a donation to Andrews Charity, because that's how the dark side rolls. This, do you know what he's referencing?
No.
Come on, TD.
What?
Fear is a path to the dark side. Star Wars.
Oh, I haven't watched Star Wars, Richie.
You're not cultured.
Well, I'm not cultured. It depends on what culture you subscribe to. Man.
The nerd culture. How about that?
Yeah, I'm a real one, Richie. I don't subscribe.
All right, I'm a sci-fi geek. Call me whatever you want.
Me and my wife are actually saying, okay, man, we need to watch, Star Trek.
Star Wars,
yeah. See? Yeah, but we've been talking about it because we go to Disney and in Hollywood Studios, it's all about it.
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, it's all about it, and we go in that area, and it's our least favorite because we just don't know much about it.
Oh man, that's the best part of the whole park of Disney is that Galaxy's Edge. See all the stormtroopers walking around.
No, they got one ride that everybody loves.
Yeah, I went on it.
What is it called? Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, it's epic. Yeah. But you won't really enjoy it if you don't watch the movies. You're just on a ride. You don't know who's who, what's going on. You don't know the story. DF Forever. TD, straight up. If you were honest, TD, at the AFC's roundtable, I would have told you the game scares me the most. Now my gut says Super Bowl. Hey.
Mine too. Mine too. We going to the Super Bowl, baby.
We. Wow. Well,
this is what it takes, Richie.
Let's see the odds on BetUS for the Super Bowl. We have the Chiefs favorites. Oh, no, the Eagles are the favorites to win the Super Bowl. How about that? The Philadelphia Eagles plus 190 for your Super Bowl odds on BetUS Sportsbook. If you guys want to sign up for BetUS, don't forget to use the code YouTube150 when you sign up today. You will get a 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two. That's up to $2,000. All right, the proud sportsbook sponsor of Roundtable Sports. The Chiefs are the second betting favorites at plus 225. The Bills are the third betting favorites at plus 250. But that Commanders at plus 650 looks spicy, TD. Do I put some money on the Commanders to win the Super Bowl? I don't know. I like the Magic.
Listen, man, I like this Commanders hype, man.
Me too. We got all week long to talk about it.
I want to see it happen.
We got all week long to talk about the Championship Sunday, man. You know who's going to be at my apartment for Championship Sunday?
Who?
If we're doing a roundtable cast, we may have to have him part of the show.
Who is that?
Colby. Because we're flying out to the Super Bowl together on that Monday. So I told him come to my apartment, sleep over because we're flying on the same plane. So Colby's going to be here in my studio for that. I don't know what time he's coming. I'll see if he's actually going to come for the games.
Did he even book his flights?
For the Senior Bowl. Remember, this is the Senior Bowl.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
So,
and we got a busy week, Richie.
We're gonna
2 weeks. We both.
I'm gonna be on the road for busy. You're gonna be in Disney World, like this.
No, Richie, don't do that. I'm gonna be at Disney, but I'm also gonna be at some of the Pro Bowl festivities, and then I gotta travel to New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
You should go to the Pro Bowl festivities that Thursday. I don't know how long you're in Disney, but Thursday is the main Pro Bowl festivities.
You mean like the challenges and stuff?
The challenges, yeah. I don't know what type of access you get.
Well, I have access to that too, but I have a big private day on Thursday, family private day. So.
Exactly, you're gonna be able to. No, whatever. We'll talk about it. So, yeah. But folks, this has been an epic show. If you guys can do us a favor, we're close to hitting 100 likes on this show. 94 likes. Smash the like button. We're also close to 20,000 subs. If we can get the Roundtable Sports, this YouTube channel, to 20,000 subscribers by the Super Bowl, that'll be massive, TD. So do us a favor, everybody. If you're enjoying Wake Up and Ball, hit that subscribe button right now because Wake Up with Ball is live weekdays, 8:30 a.m., featuring your host, Richie Malora and Tony Dow. We talk all sports, but we're focusing mostly on the NFL right now since we're in the heart of the NFL playoffs. It's a lot of fun. Please subscribe. Share this with your family members, with your friends. TD, let them know what Roundtable Sports is building and let them know what the vision is for this show and all shows coming down the line.
Listen, man, we're trying to build the biggest and the best network known to man. So thank y'all for your support. Listen, we're going to have shows all day, every day in the future. That's what we're building towards. And it's starting with Wake Up and Ball. Listen, huge hit from the Roundtable Sportscast over the weekend. And also the head-to-head SmackDowns have been a hit as well. Thank y'all for the love and support as always. Let's go, Bills. Let's get to this Super Bowl. Let's go.
I got the business cards fresh off the press, too, TD. Look at this.
Nice.
That's my business card. TD, I got yours too. Don't you worry.
I know it. That's what's
up. I just exposed my email. People are going to be emailing me. Roundtable Sports, baby, to the top. We needed to get these business cards for the Super Bowl, so it'll be like, hey, yo, Darren Orlovsky. Check out Roundtable Sports.
That's right.
Glenn, another super chat before we wrap it up. This is why I thought the Bond will win. They were at home, and it is hard to beat a good team twice. Now that the reason I'm picking Chiefs. Ooh, Glenn. We'll see about that. Glenn, thank you for another super chat. All right. Much love to everybody tuning in. Hit the like button on your way out. Did we get to 100? We did, baby. Let's go. Shout out to BetUS for being the proud sponsor. Go check them out, folks. 150% bonus by using the code YouTube150. Great show today, and we'll see you later on the huddle. Enjoy the rest of your Monday.
Peace.